today's not like normal. I'm not really doing too much today, and I've got forged out some tools, and I gotta make some holdfast and also a bench top. So I got some metal in the fire right now, and I'm just beating on it until it's all formed. So enjoy it. So it started getting a little bit too dark out, and I couldn't really see with the holdfast. So this is as much I got forged out of them today. I got the top part, I guess you would call it the duckbill area, and they kind of resemble the Roubeau holdfast. So I got two of those. Got to clean them up tomorrow. I started rounding over the bottom of the one on the left, but I didn't get anywhere near finished just because it was getting way too dark. I couldn't see. Look at that pile of just holdfast that I've made and tried out different things on over the time. And because it's too cold to do any kind of glue ups or anything like that, I broke out the X-Carve. I've got a sign that I'm going to be making, and I'm setting up the computer to the X-Carve right now. It's going to be a little camper sign, so we'll get that going. So now I'm just continuing on with the setup of this thing on the new computer, and we just got to test all the different things and make sure everything's working right. And if I had the machine on, things would probably move. So alright, so that is good. Y is good, and now we need to make sure the Z is good. Z is good. Let's go down with it real quick. We'll go back up with it. Alright, well that's good too. Okay, so right now, as you can see, we are trying to get the camper sign loaded up on the computer, and we've got to get this thing started. I'm gonna have it going only like 1/8 of an inch deep, so I gotta make sure all that is correct. Alright, so here is the sign. It's gonna be about 16 inches wide and 9 inches tall. It's gonna be a big rectangle, and I've got the Not All Those Who Wander Are Lost with our little pop-up camper on there, and we like that. So we're going to go ahead and get a sign card for that, and then I'm going to forge out a little thing to hang it off of for when we do go camping. And you can check your dimensions up here. It's going to be 16 by 9, and material, I got to change that to 1/2 inch. Let's just hit carve and see what happens. Oh, okay, so it's got to measure the material and all this stuff. I've only used this a couple times, so I'm not really too proficient in it, but you know, we're doing it. Alright, so it is 1/2 inch. Material is secured. Yeah, we got that bit, I think, on there. Yeah, I believe that's what's on there. Alright, so I ended up going ahead and changing out that bit. I had a 16th bit in there, and I went ahead to go and put the 1/8 inch bit in there, and now I've got to home it. So I've got to do all that fun stuff real quick. Alright, now the next step we got to do is confirm the home position, so we are good with that. We'll do raise the spindle, turn on the spindle. So we got the spindle on. Spindle is working. So now we can go ahead and start carving and hope that it doesn't get messed up. Alright, so right off the bat, I noticed something was going to go wrong, and I was trying to use this plywood just to see if I could use it, and because it was a bigger sheet, it's not going to work. The plywood, it just got tore right apart, the plies came apart, so I got to switch out the material real quick and I guess rehome it, because the other material I have is a little bit thicker, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. This is where it started getting tore apart right here. So this was not going to work at all. This is just going to get chewed up, and why waste my time on it? So let's get this switched. Our new piece is in. I'm just going to go ahead and rehome it and then get it restarted. This is about 1 inch thick, so there's quite a bit of difference from the 1/2 inch to inch. So I have to rehome it and then get back into carving it. So last night was a complete failure for getting this sign done. I'm set back up. I don't know what exactly was going on with it last night. I had my design on here. I've got my design right here, and the entire word of lost was not trying to get cut. Every time I would go up here and click on the show the toolpaths, it wouldn't bring up that the word lost was getting cut. So I tried different things, tried to do the outline and just different things like that, and nothing would bring up that the word lost was going to get cut. So ultimately what I ended up doing was going back and just redesigning the whole thing. And when I first made it, I had this as a separate section, the camper is a separate section, and then the bottom words is a separate section. So now the entire piece is one section, or the words are one section, and then the camper is a separate section. So hopefully this time it works, because last night was really disappointing. I know things don't always go as planned, but still, and it was getting way too cold out here. I think last night when I went inside, it was like almost 1:30 in the morning-ish, or 1 o'clock, and it was right at about 32 degrees, so it was pretty cold out, and I was just getting frustrated with the cold, so I left it. So hopefully now everything goes as planned. As you can see, I went ahead and just generated the toolpath for the project, and this whole entire section right here was not even being cut. So it's highlighted now. Everything looks good like it was supposed to be last night, and now I'm going to try to carve it. So I've been coming out to the shop periodically to help clean the sawdust and everything off of the board, just to check up on it and make sure everything is going smooth. Right now it's showing that we're at 57% finished of the camper sign. So remember, it's supposed to be looking like this, so let's go check on it real quick. And here it is. I don't know if you can hear me too well, so I'm going to speak up a little bit. This is not going at all like it's supposed to be. You can't tell that this is supposed to be an R. If you can see inside the letters, it's tapered off at an angle on all of these. So I'm pretty disappointed about that. You can see that right from the front. The groove where it transfers from a part of the letter to another part is almost 1/8 of an inch deep. This right here on the camper isn't even supposed to have a groove. Now some of this right here and right here and right here, this can be sanded out really easily. That's just like surface stuff of where it was homed over here in the corner. But I mean, I got this mark right here. I don't know if you can see it that well. This right here isn't even supposed to be part of the drawing. I mean, it's not even there. I've been watching the spindle whole assembly, and it's moving, like, severely bad. When I started, this was all tight, and I don't know if you can see it shaking. Can you see it shaking right here? I mean, this is loosened up pretty good, and I've stopped it. I've tried to tighten it up, and I can't get an Allen wrench back there. So maybe I put it on backwards, but I'm pretty sure that I have it on there correct. I don't understand why it came loose though. I mean, I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know if it's something that I'm doing wrong, but my first sign didn't turn out bad. I've got this sign that is hanging up on the wall. This was not turning out too bad. It took off some of the stuff right in here where it's supposed to be left, and some places it overlapped and different things like that. I mean, it did an okay job, I guess, a decent enough. But the sign I'm making right now, I'm so disappointed in it. I mean, I wouldn't even want to sell it to anybody. Like, even be like, here's a free sign. I don't even want to give it away. It just doesn't look very good to me. I mean, I don't know why it's not turning out well. I did the exact same setup that I did on the other sign. The parts are coming loose, so I don't know. You guys tell me what you guys honestly think of this thing. I know that a lot of people have been talking and they kind of slip things in, say, hey, you know, I had this happen. But in their reviews, they're like, oh my God, it's the greatest machine in the world. And, you know, you can't do anything without it. And stuff like that. I know that there have been really, really good projects done on it. I've seen a lot of people do great projects on it. But I've also heard a lot of negative things about this X-Carve so far. So I went ahead and stopped. I can't watch it do this anymore. I'm going to go ahead, and I had a suggestion through Twitter to try a smaller bit. So I'm going to cut a piece of wood that I just had all glued up together, and I'm going to throw it on here and just see if that even makes a difference. He said maybe the bit is a little bit too large for the design of the letters. So I'm going to go ahead and try that real quick. Hopefully that fixes everything. If it does, then I will actually get some good wood and put it back in here and redo this. Okay, so I switched bits, changed out material so I had fresh stuff to work on. Redid all of the stuff on the computer. I made it so I was going to cut less. I'm using a 1/16 inch bit. And to no surprise, I don't know why. Okay, but you guys have got to see this. Okay, so it started carving, and it started carving great. It made the N, it made all the correct path, it filled in the letter that was missing before. But can you read the N in there? No, you cannot. Why in the world can you not read the N in there? For some reason, the program made the first N, came back, and did another N right next to it. So now I have two overlapping N's on the same board. I don't know what it is. I don't know if somebody's got like a hidden camera in here just goofing around with me or what, but this is beginning to be a complete failure, and I don't know why. Kind of getting frustrated now. So I'm going to leave it, walk away. You guys, if you have any tips whatsoever for what's going on or know why it's happening, please leave them in the comments below. This is starting to get a little irritating. So I'm not going to touch this thing until I can figure out why the world is not working correctly. So thanks for watching this complete failure, and I'll see you guys later.